Hey, what's up, guys? So I know it's Thursday, but this is gonna be my first look lineup for the week. Sorry about getting this a little bit late for you guys. So to recap last week, this is how it fell. I was contemplating between Lamar Jackson and Nick Foles all week, and then I happened to play Nick Foles in the majority of my cash lineups. And those lineups finished like 10 points outside of placing in all of the cash games. So a little bit unlucky. I could have pretty much picked any quarterback other than Foles, but had he not gotten hurt, I would have easily been able to cash. So this week, a lot of people are going to try to score another week with using the players that performed really well in week one. You could go that route, but you kind of want to stay away from doing that too much. Like, case in point, Lamar Jackson. It'd be easy just to put him in and say, okay, against the Cardinals at home, another 30 points. But the most important way to look at this, especially cash games, is not just an individual player, but how you can construct your whole team. And instead of that, I really like Dak. I liked him last week, but I didn't play him last week. I think I played him on like one or two tournament teams. Goff is at home. The Saints, they're nothing special on defense. It's not going to be like that. The game like the Superdome of last season when it was like a 50 to 38 or 40 game. But I'm going to pass. I'm going to go Josh Allen here. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks to play. He threw for a career high 254 passing yards last week, I believe, and he's going to surpass that this week. He should be able to run. He might be able to get a rushing touchdown. And this game should stay competitively close. The Giants cannot defend the pass. They don't have that big of a pass rush. But if they do, he's going to run. So I'm going to go on a limb and say he's going to pass for over 275 yards, possibly 300, with 2 or 3 scores. That's going to be enough. As long as if he gets anywhere over 18 points, it's a win. Because his salary is so low. Now, I didn't play McCaffrey last week, in part because I hate playing people against my Rams and watching the game. I don't want to cheer for the other team. But with that said, Alvin Kamara, I've been watching the Rams play against this guy a couple times, and every single time, they do not have an answer for him. The only thing stopping the Saints, and they do this a lot, is when they stop feeding him the ball. There's no... And also, I think the Rams are going to have the lead in this game at home. So Kamara is going to catch a lot of passes. He may catch over 10 this game. Yeah, he's going to go over 120 total yards. He could get 200 total yards, a couple touchdowns, 10 receptions. Was that like 40, 50 points? I don't know how many people are going to play him. He might slip past people because people will be looking at Saquon, Zeke, Dalvin Cook is ahead of him. So many... Actually, no, because, well, I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. Let's go back. There's still Zeke and Barkley ahead of him. And then, I like Ty Gurley, too. I think in the GPP, Gurley is a good play. No one is going to expect him to go off, and he might. Yeah, so there's a lot of cheap running backs here. I think people are going to kind of pass on Kamara. Also, though, let's look down here. I had to type his name in. AP is 3,400. I don't think... Oh, well, I know for a fact when they priced him, they didn't know that Geis was out for 6 to 8 weeks. Man, that's a great price. Although, I think the Skins are going to be down all game. So, I'm going to go Chris Thompson. But I'm going to play him at flex here. For 3,900, he's definitely like the Bears version of what's his name? Cohen, sorry. He's the Bears version of Tariq Cohen. And, I mean, I may play AP at 3,400. AP might get about 15 carries, might score a touchdown. But I think Chris Thompson, he's kind of a risky cash play. But I think with the game flow, he might catch 6 or 7 passes and break one. But yeah, if he gets anywhere over 10 points, it's a win. So this will allow you to do a lot of things. And for defense, the Bucks defense last week, they had 12 points. This is why you don't pay up for a defense. Now, every now and then you'll get a high price defense, might score 30 points and be the difference maker. But that's more for GPPs anyway. Defense, I really like a lot of defense. I like the Colts defense, actually. The Colts, but we're going to go over here with the Bengals against Garoppolo. No Tevin Coleman. The 49ers didn't look that great last week. So anyways, okay. So we got a lot of open space here. My next pick, I do like Gurley, but to make everything fit, I think Sonny Michel is going to have a huge game here. We didn't see anything great in particular last week he had, but the Steelers, they can play a tight defense. The Dolphins cannot. They do not have that many players on defense as of right now. Their linebacker, their LBs are virtually non-existent. I think he's going to catch a pass or two. He's going to have 20 carries. He might get 2 touchdowns. I mean, Brady might want to throw for 6 touchdowns, but I think he's going to get a lot of the work on the ground, and they're going to be winning the whole game. So it makes sense, and I think he's really cheap in this spot. Going on to receiver, for GPP, I think I'm going to have to play Hopkins. People are going to be scared by Jalen Ramsey. Michael Thomas is a great play, but for cash, I don't want to play Kamara and Thomas. If it was in New Orleans, I would play them both, without a doubt. I think I'm not a big Samuel Watkins fan with the way he left my Rams, but he wasn't that great playing for the Rams. I loved him in Buffalo. I didn't want to play him last week because I liked so many other players, but also I think he's going to do that hot. Well, with no Tyreek Hill, who else are they going to throw to besides Kelsey? If they weren't playing the Raiders, I probably wouldn't have him, but I think you have to play him right now, especially against the Raiders in Oakland. And there's a lot of cheap receivers. Randall Cobb I like. Tyrell Williams I really like. I don't know if I want to play him though, or play the same players against each other. I think a lot of people will be on Tyrell Williams. I like DK Metcalf. He finally proved that Russell Wilson is going to find him and give him the ball. Let's see. A.J. Brown maybe, but the Colts I think have a great secondary. Trey Quinn looks like he's going to be the Adam Humphries this year. Beasley had a solid game. Okay, so I like the Gazelle here, but I also like Cobb. Let's see, not so much Fitzgerald. Michael Hardman, I liked him in Georgia, not so much week 2 of the NFL. Oh, well, if you don't want the Gazelle, John Brown might be a good pairing with Josh Allen. They seem like they were good on deep balls last week. Not saying that Josh Allen can complete more of those deep balls, but if there was ever a team that they were playing that allowed a lot of deep completions, it's this Giants team. So I'm going to mash them together. So my tight end, I always like to pay down for the tight end. my cheap. Oh yeah, T.J. Hawkinson. I had him a lot of GPP teams. Had 28.1 points last week. Great find. I actually like Uzma and Higbee, but I think even though the Saints are really good against tight ends, the Rams have this one play. This is how they scored a touchdown with him last week. They basically throw him like a tight end screen. And it's like a 2-yard pass, and then he runs for 6 or 7 yards. And I don't see how that play is stoppable because it happens so fast, and out of everyone on the field, you don't expect Higbee to get the ball. And they run that play like 4 or 5 times a game, too. But I think for this case, I don't think he's going to go off like he did last week. I didn't want to pick him last week. I'll own up to that. I picked him a lot last year, and he had like 50% of the time he had a good game or bad game. But Lamar Jackson, it might be his favorite target. The Cardinals usually struggle against tight ends. I'm not saying he's going to score 27 points, but if he scored 8 points or more, it'd be a good win for us. Okay, so receiver, I'm not used to having this much money. And if you don't want to pay up for receiver, then switch out Chris Thompson for a better running back, like Austin Eckler or something. But receiver, if you can't pay up for Hopkins, Keenan Allen, the Lions defense will not be able to stop the slot. Get Keenan Allen. You know, I don't want to say get him before he gets hurt. I think he got hurt once 2 years ago. Maybe he got hurt last year. I forget. But I love playing Keenan Allen. They're playing in Detroit, so it'll be a more competitive game. And I don't see how this Detroit secondary can stop him, especially if he goes in the slots, which he primarily does. So anyways, this is my first look lineup. Got Josh Allen, Kamara, Sonny Michel, Watkins, John Brown, Keenan Allen, Andrews, Chris Thompson, and the Bengals D. All right, thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, and expect a final look video probably about Saturday night, possibly early Sunday morning. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until then.